Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back. We have a lot of newbies, so what I'd like to do is go through um, all of the facts, and then what I'd like to do is so the newbies know where we're at, what we're looking for, what we're currently seeing, and then what I'd like to do is cross compare some of the opinion thoughts that I've shared with you, compare those to facts, and let's see how everything lines up and what shows everything coming together. So back in 2014, the CBI said they were going to delay the deletion of the zeros, meaning change the rate until Iraq achieved political stability, because most of the federal government was the corruption and they were stealing money. Okay, so so they said Iraq must finish the formation of the government, get rid of all the old political figures, and they were going to delay it till the rate changed until 19. So now we're in 19. Let's look at their actions from 19 to see if their actions support them even having intentions of changing the rate this year. That's very important in this. So January through June, the federal government, some of the steps that they did was they coordinated and planned and set the stage for reconstruction and trade agreements. Okay, which both of those steps are post rate change steps for the federal government. So January through June, they set the post rate change stage for the country of Iraq. Okay, then in July and August, the Kurdistan and Baghdad worked on kind of finalizing and coming into agreements, with achieving 17% of the budget, which also of the 2020 budget, which also has monies in it for both Article 140 and the HCL. Both of those laws still have to be amended and added to the Constitution. Now, one of the things I've been stressing to you guys for a long time is that they cannot just be implemented. Both 140 and the HCL oil and gas law both must be amended and added to the Constitution before they can be implemented. One of the things you guys learned, finally, I got all that confirmed for you. What you guys learned yesterday, based on pure facts, this is not my opinion, was that there was an article from yesterday that told you that they still have roughly 150 laws. They call those the controversial laws. Roughly 150 laws that they have to get approved and get finalized and get implemented. But what you guys learned is that all of those 150 laws are post-rate change laws. And most of those, I don't know what all the laws are. Notice how they're hiding them from this and they're not telling us what all the 150 are. Most of those guys just need to be amended and added to the Constitution. But again, it will happen after the rate change, not before. That's what I've been trying to teach you and educate you. Okay. Now, so going back roughly 3-4 weeks ago, one of the things I've told you is that after Baghdad and Kurdistan meet, which they did just meet to discuss the budget percentage, I think it was last Thursday, we wanted to see the news quiet and see them transition to what we're calling the linchpin in this, the final step, which is working on the formation of the government. Okay, so we want to see the news just go quiet. Well, guys, that is all happening right now at 100% accuracy. Okay, the so we were looking for news. Okay, I'm sorry, we were just looking for the news to go quiet, and then we were looking for news to kind of give us hints or clues or something on the direction they're going to go with the federal government, the formation of that government. Okay, guys. So here's what you have to look at. Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up to the last legislative term with Parliament. Let's look at what they did. Okay, guys. On occasion, they would have a session of Parliament. They would do a few things here and there, pass a few laws. But overall, if you look at the last legislative term of Parliament, guys, they had very few sessions of Parliament, and they didn't get much done. Now, if you guys noticed, during the last legislative term, guys, I actually brought you quite of information showing you they had very little to do. So that's the fact that they had very little to do and almost nothing left to do. I even, probably about 3 weeks ago, I even brought you stuff from that gentleman by the name of Walking Stick who owns banks and ATMs in Iraq. He's an American citizen that owns banks. He's a business partner and owns banks and ATMs in Iraq. Remember, he made a statement stating that literally there's nothing left for Iraq to do, guys. That's why they had very few sessions of Parliament, and it appeared as though they didn't get anything done, guys. That's because they had almost nothing left to do. So now let's look at where they're at. So roughly just yesterday morning on Monday, what they did was they came out and announced. We were looking for them to make announcements about the formation of the government, or kind of give us a clue on their next session of Parliament, which they did tell us was on 9/3. Well, so what they came out and announced was that Parliament will not even resume until the middle of September. They gave a tentative date of 9/13, but remember I tried telling you in that 9/13 is that's a Friday. That's 2 Fridays. Parliament and the government does not, that's their holy day. They do not work for their government on their holy day. That's sacrilegious. They're not doing it. Okay, so they're not meeting on Friday the 13th. So don't worry about that. But they're telling you they're going to meet somewhere roughly around there in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so, and notice how they came out saying they're not even meeting for 2 weeks, guys. What they just told you is, if you look at their patterns from the last legislative term, again, how they had very few sessions of Parliament and didn't get a lot done. The reason they have to, and now this part is all my opinion, guys, and you have to remember, we don't have a step-by-step Dinar for Dummies book in this. Okay, we have followed facts a lot. Most of the information I share with you guys is fact, but part of it has to be opinion, because we can't have facts in every step. So this is where we shine above every other guru and Dinar forum out there. Our information is very well thought out and delivered to you guys. Okay, we study information at a very deep analytical level, and this is just where we shine. So the fact, now this part's my opinion again, the fact that we came out and I'm sorry, Parliament came out announcing that they're going to take they're announcing a 2-week break, and they're not even going to resume Parliament till roughly the middle of September, roughly take a 2-week break. Okay, what they're telling you guys, again, in my opinion, is they're telling you they have nothing left to do. And so they're in my opinion, they are confirming what I tried to share with you guys, how it would have to be quiet. And plus, guys, we also believe from other actions I've already previously shared with you guys just in the last few days, how I strongly feel the formation of the government is actually quietly complete behind the scenes. They've made a lot of steps on things they've done to suggest that, and I don't want to go into all that detail again. Okay, but they've made a lot of steps, such as forming committees to tackle government corruption, guys. When the government was a corruption, it's a little hard to form committees to tackle corruption when the government was the corruption, unless you've already replaced all those corrupt political figures. Okay, plus the second part is, look at how they literally just, throughout this entire year, they set the formation of the government on hold so they could set the stage between the country and the citizens for the rate change. Okay, if the government was not done, it would be a little hard for them to just put the whole formation of the government off to the side. I mean, they've made no effort to do anything with it this whole year. So my point is, if it wasn't done, they just couldn't do that. So that suggests to me that what we're seeing right now and the way we're seeing the news play out is actually pretty scripted. Okay, this is all planned and done by design. That the news right now, in my opinion, is completely scripted. So I believe the formation of the government is done, and that they can just kind of announce it at the blink of an eye when they need. Now, here's the second part. Let's look at what they've announced and what they've done. Okay, since kind of the end of August, when I told you they would most likely finish setting the stage around the end of August. Well, 2 weeks ago, they came out talking about the deletion of the zeros, which is changing the rate, and the coins, and how to really perform both of those steps, they have to increase the exchange rate. Okay, what they're doing, guys, is I told you roughly 2 weeks ago, is I thought, in my opinion, that was roughly approximately 30 days out from the rate change. Okay, so what they were basically doing right there, again, in my opinion, was educating the citizens about the deletion of the zeros, which is changing the rate, and going into great detail about the coins, how both can really only happen or occur with a rate change. Okay, and increasing the value of their currency, increasing that exchange rate. Okay, and so basically they started educating the citizens 30 days out. But now this is what I want to stress to you. It does no good to educate the citizens. Most of their, roughly 60% of their citizens, I believe, are roughly around age 35 and under. Okay, so if majority of their citizens are around age 35 and younger, okay, they can't just start educating them on the deletion of the zeros many months ahead. They have to do it in close proximity to the timing of the rate change, so it stays fresh in their heads. And they just started that process 2 weeks ago. Then the only other thing that they've shared with us as of yesterday on Monday was they stated that at the early on in the next session of Parliament, okay, or in the next legislative term, they said very early in it, they have roughly 150 laws to pass, which are all post-rate change laws. And most of those laws just need to be amended with one single reading, and they can be done real fast with one reading. They don't need 3 readings like a brand new law, because they just have to be amended and just tackled quick. But again, what I want to stress to you, and you learned this yesterday, I proved this to you factually yesterday, these are post-rate change laws and can only happen after the rate change, guys. That's what I want to stress to you. So right now, I know, and remember, they're going to tell you they're not going to show you the fact they're purposely hiding the formation of the government from you, because it's the linchpin in this. That's why they're not showing you anything on it. Plus, like I said, I believe it's already done secretly, quietly behind the scenes. So they can just tackle the government real fast and just give you very minimal notice and just bang it out and complete it super fast. Okay? But right now they're trying to make everything in Iraq look worse than what it is, and they're hiding all this information from you because they don't want to tell you anything. Okay? But again, the information still strongly shows, the facts do, that they have intentions of changing the rate in the second half of September. Okay, that's, like I said, they started educating the citizens on the rate change and on the deletion of zeros and on the coins 2 weeks ago, and they just started. They just came out and said the only other thing that they've said is that they have 150 laws, controversial laws, which do include the Article 140 and the HCL, to get approved after the rate change. You guys have a great day.